What's up, guys? Today we're talking about the top 5 synergy teams in Mortal Kombat Onslaught for patch 1.0.2. So right up front, let me issue a couple of disclaimers. Firstly, for this list we are considering a synergy team to include the full roster of characters who share the synergy tag. This means, for example, if we're talking about the Special Forces team, we would be talking about both Sonya Blades, both Jaxes, Johnny Cage, and even the Medic and Sergeant minions. For this list, you don't need to worry about who the best 4 characters for a given team are, because one of the strengths of a good synergy team, which we'll be highlighting, is their affinity flexibility, meaning you can seize an advantage by substituting different characters for different content. Secondly, for this list we are specifically focusing on synergy teams. The actual top 5 most effective teams across all game modes would all be slight variations of each other, and would all just be combinations of top tier 5-star characters who mostly don't share concrete synergies, which would not only make for a boring list, but would also make for an unhelpful list, as most players don't have their choice of all the 5 stars in the game, not to mention that which characters you would actually want to run would be fairly dependent on which epic relics you owned, so yeah, we're sticking to synergy teams. On that note, starting us off at number 5, we have the Lin Kuei. Consisting of Cryomancer Lin Kuei, Base Sub-Zero, Frost, MK1 Scorpion, and Arctica Sub-Zero, the Lin Kuei are definitely a force to be reckoned with. The core of this team consists of just Arctica Sub-Zero, though nearly all variations will also feature MK1 Scorpion simply due to his raw power. To give a quick rundown of the synergy, the Lin Kuei essentially have unparalleled defense as well as defensive utility. Arctica Sub-Zero provides a special charge decrease to any enemies targeting him, in addition to gaining a defense boost based on the number of targets attacking him. He'll also intercept any attacks that were set to deal more than 20% of a teammate's HP, redirecting them to himself and reducing their damage by 50%. He also has a chance to freeze the enemy when this happens. He applies a special charge debuff in an AoE on his auto, as well as in a large radius with his special, which will also apply frozen to any enemies with over 75% special meter. Even his third combo can apply a stacking attack decrease. Meanwhile, Base Sub-Zero is also joining in on the defensive domination by granting himself a massive max health boost as well as a defense boost via his passive. He applies Taunt with his auto and gains a tenacity boost, and he further stifles enemy offense with his special, which applies a lengthy frozen to all targets in an AoE. Even his combo grants a chance to further inhibit enemies by providing a chance to apply frozen with his basics. Cryomancer Lin Kuei further contributes to the impenetrable ice combo by providing a nice block boost to any Lin Kuei allies, applying a defense buff to the teammate with the highest defense on her auto, and applying even more guaranteed frozen to enemies in an AoE around a target via her special. For those who are not aware, frozen enemies stop gaining special meter while frozen, meaning this team rarely even gets hit by enemy specials to begin with. So it should be obvious by now why this team is so difficult to deal damage to, but they also output quite a bit of damage themselves. Frost outputs a tremendous amount of AoE damage by dealing splash damage with every critical hit, as well as providing herself with a quicken buff, but most importantly of all, Frost grants all allies 35% more damage against frozen enemies. This makes it all the more devastating when her special applies frozen to every target she passes through, on her way to deal 875% of her attack to her target. For good measure, her combo also sees her fire a bonus attack at any enemy that gets frozen. Of course, we can't neglect the one-man wrecking crew that is MK1 Scorpion, who gains a quicken from his passive to deliver a crushing auto that gains a damage boost against frozen enemies. His special, like Frost, deals an absurd amount of damage to a single target, namely 1045% of his attack if you have his first combo, which also allows him to call in a cameo from Sub-Zero for yet another opportunity to apply frozen to an enemy target. We also have to take a second to acknowledge an epic relic that notably amplifies this team, Sub-Zero's fatality relic, the Cryomancer's Frozen Axe. In addition to being one of the best offensive relics currently in the game, it provides a couple significant bonuses to the wearer, including dealing 35% more damage to frozen enemies and gaining 30% special meter whenever a frozen enemy is defeated. On a full Lin Kuei team, this amounts to a healthy damage boost in addition to much more frequent specials, and it's equipable by 2 members of the team. So, to sum up, the Lin Kuei receive tons of natural defensive bonuses, reduce enemy special charge rate, redirect big attacks, and generally take very little damage, but they also constantly apply frozen enemies, triggering bonus attacks and granting a massive damage boost to all allies, including 2 of the top damage dealers in the entire game. It's for these reasons the Lin Kuei take the number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4 we have Red Dead Ruination. Also known as Team Body Beatdown, this team somehow manages to be simultaneously hyper-flexible, incredibly one-dimensional, and undeniably effective. The core of this team is exclusively Deadeye Aaron Black, specifically the bonuses he provides to body affinity allies. His passive provides a plus 20% critical chance boost to any body teammates, as well as a stacking critical damage boost for the team that increases with each critical hit a body ally lands. To further facilitate this, Deadeye Aaron Black has a variety of abilities, including his combo, an auto, and his special, which all apply marked, which greatly increases the likelihood for an enemy to receive incoming critical hits. The other major factor that elevates this team to top 5 status is how skewed the current roster is toward incredibly powerful body characters who benefit from critical chance and critical damage. As of this recording, there are 22 playable body characters, which provides immense flexibility for this team, whether you want to run multiple defenders including Base Kung Lao, Undying Shao Kahn, and Jax, or you want to run a team of backliners providing suppression fire via Deadeye Aaron Black, Frost, and Cyber Smoke, or whether you want to run a team of melee mega DPS like Wind God Fujin, Hellfire Scorpion, and MK1 Scorpion. In addition to the flexibility the base synergy provides, what really allows this team to shine is the healthy amount of characters who are already incredible solo characters who only further excel with crit bonuses. Characters like Wind God Fujin, Hellfire Scorpion, and MK1 Scorpion are already among the absolute best damage dealers in the game. Giving them tons of guaranteed crits hitting for bonus critical damage allows this team to utterly eviscerate nearly any adversaries. While it's true that this team has an inherent weakness to Mind Affinity enemies, there are currently only 7 playable characters who are Mind Affinity and 4-star or above, meaning that it's still very uncommon to run into a predominantly Mind Affinity enemy team. Meanwhile, this team has a wide variety of 5-star characters you can mix and match to produce some truly devastating results, wiping out any opposition in a sea of red. And I don't mean red because of the tsunami of body characters, I mean red as in the clusters of critical hit damage numbers that create a constellation of crimson carnage, clutching this team the number 4 spot. Leave a like if you love lengthy alliteration. Coming in at our number 3 spot we have Outworld. It's no coincidence the Outworld OGs reign over an entire realm, considering few can stand against their might. This team's best assets are their raw stats, bolstered by a couple key synergies, which enable them to literally brute force their way through most opponents. They also benefit from being an incredibly well-rounded team as far as affinities are concerned. The Outworld team sports a roster of 18 characters, including Undying Shao Kahn, Base Shao Kahn, Goro, Sindel, Deadeye Aaron Black, Base Aaron Black, Scarlet, Tanya, Warfan Kitana, and even a bunch of notable 3-star characters including Kitana, Jade, and General Kotal. The core of this team is Base Shao Kahn, who grants Outworld teammates a 30% max health boost, making them an oppressive force from right out the gate. This durability boost is dramatically bolstered by the fact that many of the highest health characters in the entire game already hail from Outworld, including characters like Goro, Undying Shao Kahn, and Deadeye Aaron Black, meaning that extra health contributes considerably more when being applied to these behemoths. This passive can also be combined with other Outworld passives to produce some potent results, like combining with Undying Shao Kahn's passive so his revive is also worth 30% more health, or combining with Goro's passive to provide a grand total of 65% max health to any of the Shao Kahn minions. Alternatively, you can utilize this synergy to provide an exceptional amount of survivability to otherwise vulnerable characters, like Sindel and Warfan Kitana. This team excels, in particular, because so many of its characters are naturally effective bruisers. Characters like Base Shao Kahn, Goro, and Deadeye Aaron Black are all naturally very tanky, while consistently dealing a healthy amount of AoE damage. Factor in a passive that substantially boosts their max HP, and you allow them to comfortably build full damage while relying on their innate tankiness to weather any enemy assault. The fact that this team can provide exceptional survivability for the top snipers in the game doesn't hurt them either. It's also worth noting that this team inherently possesses several abilities that allow them to deal more damage while taking less. Abilities like Undying Shao Kahn's attack debuffing passive and defense boost special, combined with an attack boost from his passive and critical chance boost on his auto, or Base Shao Kahn's invulnerability combined with his attack boost from his special are good examples. Factor in things like Goro's melee damage decrease passive and Deadeye Aaron Black applying Mark to enemies to ensure critical hits, and the results are unquestionable. When the Outworld Brutes consolidate their forces, they produce an overwhelming wall of raw stats that few can overcome in the form of damage-focused characters backed by massive health bars, who are more than comfortable going blow for blow with any opponents by dealing tons of area of effect damage with the full confidence that when the dust settles, the mighty will reign. And it's precisely this unmatched raw strength that secures them the number 3 spot on this list. Coming in at our number 2 spot, the Firing Squad. If you've ever heard the phrase, "the best defense is a good offense," then you're already familiar with the strategy employed by the Firing Squad. This team is all about damage consolidation, stacking multiple offensive boosts to erase any opposition like only a complete hailstorm of bullets can. While not the most expansive roster of characters, their prowess in both PvE and PvP cannot be understated. This team simply rips enemies apart, and they do it promptly. The Firing Squad consists of a single frontline tank, ideally Arctica Sub-Zero or Fire God Liu Kang, although literally any competent tank will do, like base Noob Saibot or even base Sub-Zero, and a sharpshooting backline consisting of Deadeye Aaron Black and Fire Support Jax, along with a third body physical range damage dealer like Cabal, Frost, or base Katana. The core of this team is the lethal combination of Deadeye Aaron Black and Fire Support Jax. Forget Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, this marksman duo is the true deadly alliance of MK Onslaught. As we previously discussed, Deadeye Aaron Black provides a 20% critical chance boost to any body allies, along with a stacking critical damage boost that strengthens each time a body ally lands a critical hit. And again, as previously mentioned, he also has a variety of abilities including his combo, his auto, and his special, which all apply marked, which greatly increases the likelihood for an enemy to receive incoming critical hits. However, the addition of Fire Support Jax is where this team's damage goes from overwhelming to atomizing. FS Jax's first passive provides plus 15% attack per ranged physical ally, meaning if you have an all-ranged physical backline, the entire backline gains 45% attack for the entire match. That alone is a staggering amount of offense, but that's not all. Jax also provides Quicken to allies every time they land a critical hit. And since Deadeye Aaron is providing critical chance and marked, that means most of the team will have Quicken active for most of the match, which allows them to essentially spam their auto abilities with greatly reduced cooldowns. As if that weren't enough, FS Jax also provides a damage buff to all allies when using his auto ability, which he can, of course, spam if he constantly has Quicken active. For good measure, he also provides a multi-hit AoE with his special and an area of effect damage boost field on his basic from his combo. The frontliner on this team has only one job: stay standing long enough for all the enemies to be blown to pieces. Arctica Sub-Zero does this best because he protects allies from any stray shots with his passive and delays enemy specials with the rest of his kit, but the frontliner here is not terribly important. You can run a body tank like Undying Shao Kahn or base Kung Lao to benefit from the Deadeye passive, but survivability is the key. With the tank and the support duo locked in, any ranged physical body character like Cabal, Frost, or Katana will output an insane amount of damage backed by bonus % attack, bonus critical chance, bonus critical damage, range damage boosts, area of effect damage boosts, enemies being marked, and more. By aggregating so many offensive boosts, the Firing Squad are the golden standard for damage output, so it's no coincidence we nickname them after an execution method. It's this menacing lethality that easily secures them the number 2 spot. And finally, coming in at number 1 we have Netherrealm. Yep, you guessed it, the Nightmares of the Netherrealm currently hold the top spot, and for good reason. This team relies on a vicious combination of high damage output and vampirism. The more outgoing damage they deal, the more incoming damage they heal. This means you can build this team explicitly for massacring foes while simultaneously improving their survivability. They're able to accomplish this via a slew of synergies with a little help from a uniquely powerful epic relic. The core of this team is the savage support duo of Quan Chi and Shadowmancer Noob Saibot, accompanied by another pair of Netherrealmers typically consisting of either Hellfire Scorpion or Base Scorpion, along with Noob Saibot. though even Netherrealm characters like Flesh Undead and the Spirit Minions are more than able to hold their own for content that requires those specific classes or affinities. I did a thorough breakdown on this team in my Shadowmancer Noob Saibot solo video, so if you want the full explanation, go check out that video. Otherwise, here's the Cliff Notes version. Quan Chi kicks things off by providing plus 25% max health and plus 25% attack to all Netherrealm allies via his passive. He also provides them with Vampirism on any basic attacks that critically hit. Additionally, he provides spot healing while dealing damage via his auto attack. In addition to his game-changing passive, he also possesses a game-changing special, which provides a 10-second critical chance buff and a 10-second Vampirism buff to the team. This not only significantly ramps up the damage the team deals, but they also heal an astonishing amount while decimating their foes. Shadowmancer Noob Saibot provides even more defensive utility via his passive that grants 30% special damage decrease to all allies, as well as plus 300 block to any Brotherhood of Shadow, which includes himself, Quan Chi, and base Noob Saibot, among others. He also provides a massive plus 34% max health heal with his special, which also provides a 15-second attack buff. When you combine the chunk heal and attack buff with the critical chance buff and vampirism from Quan Chi, it's not uncommon for a low health damage dealer to immediately heal back to full HP in a matter of seconds. His special also provides a critical chance boost to Brotherhood of Shadow allies, allowing them to further capitalize on Quan Chi's vampirism passive. Shadowmancer also provides a special meter drain with his auto, which converts to a special meter steal with his third combo. Also worth mentioning is base Noob Saibot, who not only benefits from the full extent of the aforementioned bonuses, including the plus 300 block for Brotherhood of Shadow allies, but also benefits from his own passive, which grants him plus 11% max health per magic damage teammate. Because Quan Chi and Shadowmancer Noob are both magic damage characters, this means base Noob Saibot enjoys an additional plus 22% max health, in addition to the plus 25% max health being provided by Quan Chi's passive. Last but not least, we have to mention the epic relic that takes this team from terrors to outright titans: Dramon's Mask. By default, Dramon's Mask is already a decent epic relic as it has no equip restrictions, provides 1250 attack via its primary stat, and provides plus 20% health via its relic effect, in addition to some accuracy and tenacity. However, where things get absurd is the second part of the relic effect, where it grants plus 10% attack and max health to the wearer per Netherrealm ally. This means that this singular relic, which is equipable to each member of the Netherrealm team, can provide 1250 attack plus another 30% attack, as well as another plus 50% max health. For context, base Noob Saibot on the Netherrealm team can gain 97% max health with the right combination of passives and a Dramon's Mask, in addition to the plus 55% attack he would also receive, of course. When you add in a damage-dealing demon like Hellfire Scorpion who heals off any devastation he causes, it quickly becomes apparent that the Netherrealm team wield more than enough tools to incinerate any opposition, leaving nothing but a trail of ash and bone in their wake. It's this degree of scorching savagery that secures them our #1 spot. But alright, there you have it, my list of the top 5 synergy teams for patch 1.0.2. Shout out to Smoochy Boochies and her toes for absolutely no reason. Shout out to the super talented Rainbow Sheep for consulting with me on this list and every other resource I release, and shout out to each and every one of you who helps me out by dropping a like and leaving a comment. Be sure to let me know what you think about this list in the comments. Otherwise, this video has gone on long enough, so thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys real soon. Until next time, peace!